Thank you. I know everybody's walking in with your coffees, but at least for the sake of the next guys who are some amazing startups, may I invite everybody to slowly make your way to your seats again. That'll be great. All right. Because we're a little short on time, I'm going to kick on. My name is Mevan, as mentioned, work for an organization called Hatch, which is Sri Lanka's largest innovation and entrepreneurship development organization. Just around the corner, less than 5 minutes from here, we have Sri Lanka's largest co-working space, which houses about 800 members and about 125 startups. We also have run a series of incubate, accelerator, and corporate innovation programs. So all in all, Hatch has a network of about 700 startups. And today, we've got 5 of those startups who are going to be making their pitch to you. And may I also invite Saju, who is going to explain that we'd like you to actually give feedback. So it's not just a listen and kind of clap session. It's a little bit more. It's a bit of what did you think of some of the businesses and the business ideas that they're presenting? So we'd really like to invite you to give some feedback for each of the startup pitches. But also here's me inviting you, if during the course of your visit, you have some time, please drop over to Hatch. You can meet a cross-section of the startup ecosystem of Sri Lanka, and we'd love to have you and show you around. Drop in anytime. The co-working space is just around the corner. So hoping to engage with most of you soon. All right, over to Saju.
You never thought you'd see me again here so fast, huh? I see this room is about half full. We're getting full. So another request for everybody who's grabbing a coffee, come back in as soon as you can. We have a small request. We're going to have 5 amazing startups pitch over here. Now, they've taken the time to prepare some fantastic pitches. We want them to get feedback from the Harvard community. So we've prepared a simple multiple choice form over here. So it's the startup pitch feedback form. The link has been posted on the main WhatsApp group. So if all of you can just open up your WhatsApp group and look for just scroll back there, the BBB 2024 startup pitch feedback, right? We just scroll quickly up, and what you do is there's a drop down where you can choose the startup. So as they come here and pitch, select their name. So there's a drop down menu. If you could just click on that, you'll see the name of the 5 startups. So you have Makers Global, Govi AI, Miris by Island Mom, Spectrify, and Velv. I hope I pronounced those names correctly. My apologies if I didn't. We've got 10 criteria on which we basically want you to give them a score from 1 to 10. The first one is problem clarity, and we've given a short description of what we mean by that. Then it goes to solution clarity. So how well does the proposed solution address this problem? So if you look at the problem statement that they just put up, and is this unique or not? And then same way it goes to number 3, market opportunity. Can I scroll up again, please? Yeah, so sorry, scroll down, my bad. Market opportunity followed by business model. And just read the instructions, give them a score based on their presentation, right? You can assess their presentation by your criteria. We just want this to be as objective as possible, so that's the score. We can quickly scroll down. We have competitive advantage. Scroll down again, keep going. Team competence and experience, financial projections. Here, just 1 second, if you could just come back here. Did they include this? We don't want you to judge the quality of their financial projections. You're not going to have time to do that, right? So did they include these 3 criteria, which is revenue projections, funding requirements, and profitability timelines, right? Go on. The market strategy and sales plan. 9th one is scalability. And 10, is risk assessment and mitigation strategies. So these are 10 criteria by which we want you to evaluate them. Just give a score on 1 to 10. And if you feel strongly, the last thing that you can do is if there's any other feedback, right? Just put in a few lines if you feel strongly. Otherwise, all you can do is go through the 10 questions, score them 1 to 10, hit submit, and what we'll do is we'll collate all this for each of those startups who pitch over here and send that to them so that they actually get something back from this community as well. So on that note, thank you very much. Over to you.
Thanks a lot, Saju. So there we go. Without too much time taken by me, I'm going to straight away introduce our first startup. Just for those who hadn't walked in the room before, I was just mentioning that Hatch, as one of Sri Lanka's largest innovation and entrepreneurship development organization, we have a network of about 700 startups. But today we've got 5 startups who are going to be pitching their products and their solutions to you. So all the best to startups, and please do feel free, and I would encourage you to give feedback so that they can take something away. But also I'd like to see if some of those who are interested in either connecting with them in terms of mentorship, in terms of investment, in terms of being a supplier, a buyer, whatever that may be, would really encourage you to see if you can connect with them afterwards as well. All right, our first startup is Makers Global.
According to World Economic Forum, by 2025, there will be over 85 million jobs get unfilled due to lack of skills such as problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity. You already know this fact, and this is why you are teaching all the possible technologies for your kids. But are we doing it right? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nevindari Premaratna, founder and CEO at the Makers Global. Even though we teach all these possible technologies such as robotics, coding, IoT, the problem is this technology itself going to replace a lot of full-time human jobs in the future. That's fine. That is how it should be. But the thing is, we always should be ahead of technology to mold and refine it. So are we developing those skills? But we see there's a significant gap in our current education system, especially when fostering innovation and creativity. This is why we have come up with Makers Global. So we are providing an engaging, self-paced problem-solving experience through an online subscription. With that, what we are trying to do is, we are trying to inculcate innovation as a habit. You always brush your teeth in the morning. Sometimes in the evening, you don't even remember whether you brush your teeth or not. Why? Because that has become a habit. You practice that again and again, then that becomes a habit. Innovation also should be something like that. It should come naturally. So this is something that we are trying to do with the Makers. So we have this Makers platform and also Makers box. So with that, we are trying to stimulate all the senses of the child so they can enjoy while learning. With that, what is going to happen is, then they tend to practice that again and again. So with the Makers platform, we give them a rich experience using videos, audios, even they can listen to those stories, then they'll enjoy it rather than just reading text. Apart from that, we have this AI friend called Nova, so they can have these interactive conversations with this robot. And apart from that, we assign a personal coach for every student that subscribe our solution. It's not just an online platform that we have at the Makers, because we believe we have to stimulate all the senses of the child for them to get engaged with all these activities. So because of that reason, we have this Makers box. It includes all the materials and tools that is required to conduct all these hands-on activities. And with that, they're going to play and learn and have fun while consuming all the content around it. We are mainly focusing on upper middle income families who have kids between 4 to 15 years of age. As you already know, K-12 EdTech market is rapidly growing, and North America has the majority share. So at the initial stage, we are mainly focusing on North America and also GCC market and Southeast Asian market because of the recent highlights we saw in those markets as well. We have quite a competition, especially when it comes to STEM subscription models. But what sets us apart from all these competitors is we are there together with the child throughout the process without leaving them behind. Our revenue model is pretty straightforward. It's a subscription model that we have. We have a B2B and B2C model. When it comes to B2B partners, we have some tailored solutions also based on their requirements. Me, myself, also struggled a lot with the current education system that we have. But I was fortunate enough to find some alternatives, and together with me, the people who are working together with me at the Makers Global, so we are working towards to make this happen. Within 1 year, we were able to sell over 3,500 Makers kits across multiple countries, including UK, France, Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, and more. And if we consider our previous quarter, we had a 300% revenue growth as well. Our partners extends across universities, schools, preschools, and even IT companies. And we are working together with UN Women and European Union as well. Right now, there's a major project going on in Sri Lanka covering 10 districts, especially focusing on girls' schools to give this knowledge to them. We are just 1 year old, but we've achieved so much more. We even represented Sri Lanka by got selected for She Loves Tech global competition in Singapore, and we got selected for the government accelerator program and also Accelerate Her by Hatch. And also today, I'm so honored to be here in front of you all. So with that note, I'm inviting all of you to think, make, learn, solve the problem that we have in the education space to make this world a better place for our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Nevi. That was Makers Global, so may I invite you to please do give your feedback. And next, straight away, I'd like to invite an agri-tech startup that has gone through Hatcher's Green Innovation Lab and really one of our impressive startups in the agri-tech space. Let me next invite Govi AI. Please put your hands together for Govi AI.
Thank you, Mevan. Good afternoon. Welcome to our splendid island. I hope you're enjoying it. Did you know that 350 million people in the world are suffering from extreme forms of hunger? And about 50 million people in the world are suffering from famine. In a world where we are trying to send a person to Mars and having autonomous vehicles, this is not acceptable. If you look at this problem closely, you can attribute it towards a couple of things, one being the supply chain. We stumbled upon this a few years ago when Sri Lanka was facing its own economic challenges. Since then, we've fallen in love with the problem that is in front of us. The supply chain, if you look at it, about 85% of the farmers are smallholder farmers. But they only demand, or they only take, or get 20% of the world's investment. So as a result, their yields are not even 33% of the world's food production. This itself has become a problem. This is no different to what we're facing here in Sri Lanka. If you look at Sri Lanka, about 1.8 million people out of a workforce of about 7.5 to 8 million are engaged in farming. When we spoke to most of these farmers, what we've realized is their concerns are mainly around the yield, the costs. And these are real farmers who've been talking to us. Part of it has been the supply and demand, managing the supply and demand. So example, you have certain farmers who would grow their crop after the harvest, they fail to go and take it to the market. This is not only in Sri Lanka, but if you look at elsewhere in the world, even our neighbors India, this is true. So the lack of information about the marketplace. Third being the inability to capitalize on some of the latest technologies, such as measuring and monetizing carbon credit. At Govi.ai, we've actually dissected this problem into 3 areas, or 3 solutions. Number 1, we've looked at precision agriculture. As I said, we stumbled upon a problem where some of the greenhouses were really struggling to attract farmers. What we did was, we started automating these greenhouses in order to make sure the human intervention is less. And we succeeded. However, we realized most of the off-the-shelf products out there, the IoT products out there, are simply not accurate enough. So we've started customizing our own IoT solutions. Just to give an example, if you look at the PAR sensors, what measures your lux levels, your light levels, there's a particular range that you got to monitor. Most of the sensors out there monitor the entire range. However, our precision IoT solutions monitor that exact range that you're supposed to monitor, thereby improving your yield in that particular area by at least 80 to 90%. Second part is bringing it all together in one marketplace. The first part, I will talk about some of our success stories. Second part is about making sure the supply and demand problem is sorted. Now, it's not difficult for us to kind of talk about it, but when it comes to implementation, it's too complicated. So what we've done is we've tried piloting with a couple of services, using some of the sources that we have produced by or given by the government. We have started managing the demand and looking at one service at a time. One such service that people have really found difficult to subscribe to has been warehousing for the produce. So this has been one of the biggest problems that the farmers have been facing. I'll talk a bit more about it towards the end. And third part, underlying all of this, is the traceability matrix. At a time when the entire world is talking about carbon credit, ESG, most of the farmers, the smallholder farmers, have really struggled to monetize this. One of the reasons being they don't know about traceability to begin with. And 1.8 million farmers out there simply don't have a way to monetize this, though they practice some good farming that are more closer to ESG best practices. So as I said, we got 3 phases. First part has been successfully rolled out. Phase 2 and phase 3 are currently in progress. We are piloting it at the moment. And if you look at one case study, we've already done about 50,000 square feet of automation in greenhouses. And we can already see the real-time success in that, where the farmers are able to monitor their greenhouse real-time with minimal human intervention. We have also, through this democratized farming, where someone who simply wants to go and buy the IoT kit and go to their greenhouse and start managing their household crop can actually use that. What we've done is, compared to the IoT solutions out there, we've drastically reduced the cost of such solutions. Through this, we've noticed by doing a pre-implementation evaluation and post-evaluation, we've seen a reduction of 38% in its cost, mainly in electricity and water consumption, and about 30% increase in its yield. We've been recognized for some of the technologies that we've been implementing. We've been awarded silver at NBQ USA, and we've represented Sri Lanka at APICTA. And I've got a great team. I think most of the guys who have been in those environments that demand for high availability, resilience, fault tolerance, as well as performance are working with us. And I think they're driven by passion more than anything else. So as I say, the biggest award that we can be given would be to, as some people try to get themselves to Mars, for us to secure planet Earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajiv. I'm going to straight away hand over to the next startup, which is Miris by Island Mum. And just a quick reminder that we might have to stick to 3 minutes.
Right. Pain can be rewarding or punishing, is it? So Miris is strictly for reward seekers. Good evening, I'm Shivani, the founder of Miris by Island Mum. my desire to innovate exotic flavors inspired by my beautiful island, Sri Lanka, what led me to create the next generation of hot sauces, incorporating the Naimeris, the special spice that I'm going to talk about. So for the people who are not familiar with what Naimeris is, it's the Sri Lankan Scotch bonnet that has its unique flavor and pungency. When we launched Miris 3.5 years back, we discovered several gaps in the market, but we thought, let us bridge the 3 primary gaps. One is this absence of low sugar and also thickening agent-free, water-free hot sauces. Second, unavailability of adventurous heat levels and also island-inspired flavors. Third, this was a major gap because most of the brands in the local market, they disregarded the authenticity of this special herb, the spice, Naimeris, by including or like mixing with water, preservatives. It lost its flavor itself. So, which is why Miris launched its flavorful hot sauces, which are 100% natural, vegan, gluten-free, and also with adventurous heat levels. When we launched Miris, we decided we're going to also support smallholder farmers and also to support value-added agriculture, apart from celebrating the goodness of Naimeris. So the global market share is expected to grow from $3 billion to $6 billion US dollars by 2032. So we believe that Miris has a great potential in the hot sauce market globally for its innovative and bold flavors. Furthermore, we also target customers who are extreme chili addicts. It's not just for everyone, it's for extreme chili addicts who are flavor explorers and adventurous eaters. These are our 6 exotic products that has won the hearts of over 5,000 customers. And we just recently launched a vegan chili jam, which is upon our customer demand. In order to reach more potential customers, we adapted to B2C, B2B model. So 65% of our sales is generated through B2C. However, due to the popularity of our product in the international market, we want to increase our contribution to 35% for our export sales. So this is the local market map. So you can see that Miris has its unique position in the market. It's purely because of its unique product offerings and also its marketing strategies and the niche we serve. So for this financial year, for the past financial year, we're expecting a growth of 13%. And for the upcoming financial year, with our new scale-up projecting, we're expecting a revenue of 37 million Sri Lankan rupees. And our biggest vision is to stage Sri Lanka in the global hot sauce map. So these are the little milestones that we are yet to achieve. So our next biggest milestone is to complete our certification process and dive into export market. So that will probably support our vision to create Sri Lanka on the stage. And this is my small team, but they are all special to me because we all work together to bring this beautiful spice, Naimeris, to the global stage. And I love to invite everyone to join my journey and, of course, become a Naimeris addict. Thank you, guys.
And I'm handing over to Welv.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Rifat, co-founder of Valve. And let's start with a question, right? So what comes to your mind when you think of future work communication, right? Is it this or this? Whatever that is, keep that image in your mind as we jump into look at some numbers. So let's go back to 2010. In 2010, people were spending 28% of their time communicating about their work and then rest of the time was available for them to do the actual work, right? Fast forward to now, that 28% has gone all the way up to 57%, communicating about the work, and only 43% is available for an employee or a knowledge worker to do the actual, deep, uninterrupted work. Of course, communication is absolutely necessary to do work. That's what brings us together. That's what allows us to collaborate and do amazing things. We started with writing emails and then moved into Slack channels, WhatsApp messages, and all types of meeting tools to enable us to communicate work. And all these tools have created a new problem at work, which is that communication is happening too much. People are overloaded with the frequency of communication, and with that frequency, there's less clarity, there's confusion, and there's overload. And the solution for this would be a communication way which is focused on clarity and context than the frequency where the communication frequency is low, which is authentic and convenience as well. And that's the missing piece that Valves bring to the table, right? Valve allows you to create flexible multimedia messages which are clear and concise. And we give the confidence that when you send a Valve, your messages are understood. You can skip a meeting sending a Valve. You don't have to repeat your same message in your Slack channel to multiple people. Valve give you that confidence. And that's what we are solving with Valve. And who's we? It's me and my co-founder, and we have a small team of 6 members. And we have experience of working in product and engineering for more than 4 years. And we recently launched our MVP 2 weeks ago, and we have got our early tractions. We have people creating Valves from all around the world, Australia to US, and surprisingly, most of our Valves are created in Arabic, and even in Chinese, like there are Valves being created. And we want to go from MVP to product market fit, and we are fundraising, we are hiring, and we are also looking for people to partner with as we are starting to grow this product. And feel free to talk to me or reach out to us if you want to work with us. Thank you.
Hi, folks. Take 2. Yep. Thanks. For some reason, it's not coming up. We're Spectrify AI. We're an agri-tech startup focused on quality control and quality assurance across agricultural supply chains. And so in terms of the socioeconomic problem we're solving, in the developing markets, almost 30% of the labor force is in agriculture, but less than 10% or so is given to the GDP in terms of contribution. So there's a misallocation of resources, there's a misallocation of policy and the commercial aspects. And in terms of the supply chain at upstream level, that's where you see food loss. It amounts to $1 trillion, nearly $1 trillion. And in terms of the carbon footprint, that actually happens at the downstream level, at the point of consumption here again, it's over 3 gigatons. And in terms of how we solve for this is through our technology where we plug ourselves in at each juncture. So at the upstream level, we look at quality indicators such as moisture. And at midstream, we look at contaminants, does it get adulterated? And at the downstream level, we look at flavor and taste. Is like the flavor profile consistent? Is the chemical breakdowns accurate? And how we do this is through spectral technology. So spectroscopy is how light interacts with matter. And then we also use AI to determine certain patterns in building up flavor profiles, quality profiles, and scaling it up accordingly. So our technology and our platform is, okay, there's supposed to be one slide on this. So our technology is scalable. Our platform is device agnostic. Think of Android, where it's plug and play. Our technology, we use microservices, so it's scalable. And in terms of our use cases, it's omnipresent across supply chains, not just in agriculture. We are being future ready. Hope there are startup folks who understand this. And right now, we are a B2B play. We work with exporters, we work with buyers, but in time to come, with the hardware improving, we expect to have a play at the downstream B2C level. In Sri Lanka, we have started disrupting the tea industry. We work with the major tea exporters and players who are contributing to the economy. And we have disrupted the industry by bringing down the cost, bringing down time, and increasing efficiency, which are cornerstones of any disruptive technology. There's a social impact. We are improving over 1 million lives. We are also improving industry growth to 2x in terms of current exports. We do this through like AI technology at each level. Right now, we're looking at the coffee and wine industries. We have built up partnerships. Our technology is good to go. This is a 700 billion problem. In our most recent case, we raised 300,000 as our pre-seed. Also, we are raising our seed round. We are aligned with the UN goals, and as a company, we have agriculture, AI, ML, chemical engineering, fintech backgrounds. So please do join us as we try to disrupt the agri-tech space. Looking forward to talking to all of you guys. Have a great night.